Hi, in this video we will look at GCP products and services ecosystem. GCP has almost 100 plus products across different categories. So there are compute products, serverless, storage, database, application integration, networking, operations, CI/CD, tools, big data, and then artificial intelligence. It's pretty exhaustive and a lot of times it's overwhelming. So, the best way to understand most of GCP products and services is to follow the concept of data analytics, which is personas and data lifecycle. So you look at each and every product from an angle of a persona and dividing services through the data lifecycle. Let me walk you through that. So when we say personas, GCP provides a unified platform for all personas. So developers, data engineers, data analysts, business users, data scientists, security admin. So rather than memorizing the products, look at the personas and look at what one particular personas throughout the data lifecycle tries to do. So in case of a developer, they build intelligent apps. So they need intelligent services which can make their app development journey easier. So some things like messaging, PubSub, data flow for data processing, data proc for big data kind of use cases, data warehouse and DBs, BigQuery, Bigtable, and data apps like Looker. Then we come to data engineer side, which is what do they need to build really effective data systems. Is they again need messaging systems, PubSub or Confluent Kafka, which is part of the partner ecosystem. Then they need data processing pipelines, again data processing native pipelines like Dataflow, which is completely serverless, cloud data warehouse, which is BigQuery, and then the orchestration, which is Composer. And if you follow the personas and if you scroll down this list of products, it somehow becomes easier to relate different products into different categories. So most of these products from developers and data engineers, you will find under big data and tools, which is right there. Now, if we take an example of take the persona of data analyst, which is they query and analyze data. So for them, ingestion is important, BigQuery streaming and DTS, visual data integration, data fusion, CDW and orchestration, BigQuery, data models catalog, Looker data catalog, machine learning in SQL, which is BigQuery ML. Then when you come to the business user, which they look at insights everywhere. So again, BigQuery plays a big role. Looker, it's a governed BI. So that plays a role. Connected sheets, data model, catalog, Looker and data catalog. Natural language, data Q&A. Then you come to data scientist. Again, they look at how they can build effective models. So they use BigQuery, then they use AI platform notebooks, which are the portable notebooks, or the Vertex AI, which has been the newest release. Then they look at the simplified ML, depending upon how experienced a data scientist is, which is BigQuery ML and AutoML. Then they look at Apache Spark, which is available on Dataproc. Then they look at a lot of collaboration tools. When you come down to security admin persona, their focus is Cloud IAM. So Cloud IAM features need to suffice the role of a security admin. Metadata management to actually know what the data is about. Redact sensitive data, cloud DLP, data loss prevention, which is to masking and tokenizing data. Always encrypted, data at rest and in transit. Secure data sharing, which is BigQuery. Now, if you combine these personas with the data lifecycle, now data lifecycle is typically about ingestion, processing, and analytics. Now that can further be broken down in terms of collecting, processing, storing, analyzing, and then activating. So if you follow this life cycle and you map it with the personas, you will see all the products will start making sense, that where do they fit in. For collection, PubSub, data stream or data transfer service. For processing, data flow, data proc, data fusion, composer, data prep. Storing, relational databases and NoSQL databases. For analyzing, BigQuery. And then for activating, AI platforms or the embedded analytical tools like Looker or the third-party BI tools like Tableau, Click, Power BI, and all of that. Now, when you combine these two ways of looking at products and services, it starts to make sense that why these products are categorized this way. Now, if we follow this, and if we start with compute has a lot of services which basically enables you to do the computation. Compute engine, which is a virtual machine running in Google Cloud Data Center. Kubernetes engine, which is basically to run your container-based application in a managed environment. Now, Kubernetes has been getting a lot of traction in the market. So it is one of the most essential services, and especially in the APIs and microservices world, this is really important. VMware engine with the multi and hybrid cloud kind of architecture, VMware is getting a lot of traction. When you come to serverless, Cloud Run, which is a fully managed environment for running containerized apps. Cloud Functions, which is a platform for creating functions that respond to cloud events. And a lot of times it's called FaaS, function as a service. App Engine, which is a serverless application platform for apps and backends. App Engine has two flavors, standard and flexible. Now, when you go on to storage, you have file store, which is it's a highly scalable and secure file storage. Cloud storage, which is to store anything, and it's used for data lakes extensively. In fact, most of the data lake architecture across all cloud platform is based on storage services. Data transfer to transfer data. When it comes to database, you typically break it into relational databases and NoSQL databases. When it comes to relational databases, you have Cloud SQL, which is a fully managed database for MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server. And then you have Cloud Spanner, which is a cloud-native relational database, but unlimited scale and 99.999% availability. Then you have NoSQL databases like Cloud Bigtable. It's a wide column database. Firestore, which is a document database, something like MongoDB. Then you have Memory Store, which is the managed Redis and Memcached kind of database service. Now, if we go to the next one, which is the application integration. Application integration is all about all the API connectivity. So API gateway, Apigee, which is again a Google product, it's used extensively. And then you have Cloud Scheduler, Cloud Tasks, and Workflow, which are serverless ways, or server ways of triggering a workflow. Then you have networking services, and Google networking is very distinctive. Google has packed in a lot of networking features based on its learning from its own services like Gmail, YouTube, and Maps. So these services has basically made Google understand the networking requirement all around the globe, and the Google networking products are actually one of my favorites. So when it comes to networking, you have VPC network, which is a virtualized network on cloud. Hybrid connectivity is how can you connect Google Cloud to on-prem or to other cloud. Then the network service tiers is as a primary and standard. It is basically how do you connect to Google Cloud Platform. Network security, which itself is pretty important in terms of protecting your application on Google Cloud. Cloud Armor specifically, it protects you against DDoS attacks. Then the network intelligence. Now, network intelligence is sort of becoming a one-stop shop for all of the network monitoring, verification, and optimization. Then we move on to operations, which is how do you do operations on Google Cloud in terms of monitoring, debugging, logging, and profiler, tracing, collecting all the logs. And then comes the CI/CD and tools bunch, which is sort of categorized as more developer tools. So Cloud Build, which is a continuous integration and continuous delivery platform. Container Registry, which is private Docker storage. And then Artifact Repository, which is again one of my favorite, because it gives you that intermediary place where you can store your packaged files irrespective of the language. It's definitely used a lot for CI/CD lifecycle. And then the source repositories. In terms of tools, you have Cloud Run, Deployment Manager, Endpoints, Identity Platform, Private Catalog, and then of course Apigee. Apigee is a well-known API management tool, which is extensively used across multiple organizations. Then you have a huge ecosystem of big data. Now, this big data primarily covers all of the products which are part of data analytics. So when you say data analytics, it's about massaging data and getting insights, and that too actionable insights from data. So big data combines all of those features. Composer, which is a workflow orchestration service, it's built on Apache Airflow. Dataproc, it's a managed service of Hadoop ecosystem. PubSub, messaging service. Dataflow, it's a serverless way of executing batch as well as stream data. So it's basically a unified model. Then you have data stream, IoT Core, BigQuery. Of course, it needs no introduction. It's the serverless big data warehouse, and this is a very unique feature across all of the cloud platform, all of their cloud data warehouses offering, because BigQuery is serverless. Then Looker, which is used for ML-based analytics, embedded analytics. Data catalog, basically it gives you, it does a cataloging of your data. data fusion. Then there are some industry specific products. When it comes to artificial intelligence, there's there are a lot of product. Vertex AI, which is a unified machine learning platform for entire machine learning lifecycle. AI platform, data labeling, which is to label your data, document AI, natural language, recommendation AI based products, then retail based products, speech to text, tables, talent solution, translation with the language translation services, video intelligence services, and vision based services. Apart from that, you have a couple of Google Cloud other solutions, and then comes the partner solutions. Now, the partner solutions are important in terms of a lot of times you want to use the products which are known in community. Maybe sometimes they could be better than Google product, or sometimes Google doesn't really have an equivalent product in its ecosystem. So, for example, you have MongoDB Atlas. Google does have a product, but MongoDB in the industry is known to be the premier when it comes to document-based systems and fast access and for better KPIs. Similarly, Databricks, Apache Kafka on Confluent. So there are a lot of those examples. And before we finish this, would like to cover the top ones as well. And part of that, apart from the general services, security is very important. And recently, Google has announced risk protection program, where they are moving away from shared responsibility model to shared fate responsibility, where Google will engage with you from first step all the way to nth state, or to the BAU execution phase, to guide you with best security guidelines. And the security has a lot of the options which actually help you manage the security at different network interfaces. Binary authorization is very important nowadays because of upsurge in using container-based applications. DLP, data loss prevention, is very important for tokenizing and de-identification of data. Key management is of course important. Web security scanner is important. And then, of course, the identity proxy or AD-based authentication. I hope this was useful. Thank you.